My best friend laughed. You'll always be there when I'm ready, right? I said, I don't think so. I took the job in Denver, set my boundaries, and met a woman who chose me first. But then she handed my fiancé a letter. I used to think loyalty was a virtue. That waiting for someone to realize my worth meant I was patient, noble even. I thought love was about endurance. Turns out, sometimes endurance just looks like self-abandonment dressed up as devotion. Her name was Emily, my best friend since college. We'd been through everything together. Heartbreaks, late-night study sessions, job rejections, all of it. We were inseparable, and for years, everyone around us would joke, "You two are basically married already." I'd always laugh it off, but deep down, I knew I loved her. I just never said it out loud. Timing was never right. She was dating someone, then I was. Then she wasn't ready. It became a pattern. Every time I tried to move on, she'd come back into my life. A text at midnight, a call when she was sad, a confession like, "You're the only one who truly gets me." And every single time, I came running back. She liked having me there, her safety net, her constant. But she never wanted to actually choose me. Then one night, it all came to a head. We were sitting on her couch, half a bottle of wine gone, the city lights spilling through the window. She started venting about her ex again, how he didn't appreciate her, how men never stuck around. I smiled softly and said, "Maybe you just haven't been looking at the right guy." She looked at me, really looked, and for a moment, I thought maybe she saw it. Maybe she finally saw me. But then she laughed. She leaned back, smirked, and said, "Come on, you'll always be there when I'm ready, right? You're not going anywhere." And that broke something in me. The way she said it, not cruel, not angry, just casual. Like my devotion was a guarantee, a given fact of her life. I realized in that moment, she didn't love me, not because she couldn't, but because she didn't have to. I'd already given her everything without asking for anything in return. So I just smiled and said, "I don't think so." She blinked, confused. "What?" I said, "I don't think so. I'm done waiting for you to be ready. I've been ready for years." Her smirk faltered, but I didn't stick around for her answer. I just stood up, grabbed my jacket, and walked out. 2 days later, I accepted the Denver job offer I'd been hesitating over for months. A huge step up, new city, new start. When I told her, she texted back, "Wow, so you're really going? Guess I was wrong. You actually can leave." I didn't reply. Moving to Denver felt like shedding a skin I'd been wearing too long. I started fresh, new apartment, new routine, and for the first time in years, no late-night calls from Emily, no emotional roller coasters disguised as friendship. Then, about 3 months later, I met Lauren. She wasn't like Emily. She didn't play games, didn't make me guess where I stood. She was confident, funny, grounded. She chose me without hesitation. We met at a work event. She was in marketing, I was in project management. What started as coffee breaks and late meetings turned into dinner dates and weekends away. I didn't realize how starved I'd been for peace until I had it. 6 months in, Lauren met my family. A year later, I proposed. Simple ring, mountain view, quiet. Yes, that felt like the loudest moment of my life. For the first time, I wasn't loving someone who saw me as a placeholder. I was loved back, equally and fully. Then, almost 2 years after that night on Emily's couch, she resurfaced. I got a message on Facebook. "Hey stranger, heard you're in Denver now. Congrats on the engagement. Would love to catch up sometime." I didn't reply, but I'll admit, seeing her name stirred something. Not longing, just a strange curiosity. Then one afternoon, Lauren came home, pale and shaken. She handed me a letter. "This was dropped off for you at the office," she said quietly. "By Emily." It was handwritten, folded neatly into an envelope that smelled faintly like her old perfume. Lauren didn't open it, but I could see the tension in her shoulders. She told me she just wanted you to have closure. I took the letter, stared at it for a long moment. Something told me this wasn't going to be closure. This was going to be a reckoning that I sat on the edge of the bed, the letter in my hands, the paper trembling slightly, though I wasn't sure if it was from my hand or from the weight of what I already knew was inside. Lauren sat quietly across from me, her eyes searching mine, as if trying to read whether this was something she should worry about or just a ghost from my past. "Do you want me to stay while you read it?" she asked softly. I shook my head. "No, I need to do this alone." She nodded, pressed a kiss to my forehead, and left the room. For a long time, I just stared at the envelope. My name written in that familiar looping script, like the past was whispering from the paper. Finally, I tore it open. Hey, Will. If you're reading this, I guess I finally had the courage to say what I should have said years ago. You were right. You shouldn't have waited for me. I was selfish. I liked having you around because you made me feel safe. Everyone else left, but you never did. You were my constant, my anchor, until you weren't. When you said you were leaving, I laughed because I didn't believe you. I thought you'd come back like you always did. And when you didn't, something in me broke. I've been in 3 relationships since you left, and every single one of them ended because I kept comparing them to you. I saw your engagement post. She looks beautiful. You look happy. But I need you to know, I loved you. I still do. And I hate myself for realizing it too late. Maybe I'm writing this for closure. Or maybe I'm hoping a part of you still feels what I do. Either way, I just needed to say it. I miss my best friend. I miss you. Emily. I finished reading and sat there for a long time. No tears, no anger, just silence. Once upon a time, that letter would have been everything I ever wanted to hear. But now, it felt like reading a story from a life that didn't belong to me anymore. I didn't hate her. I just didn't belong to her anymore. Lauren came back a few minutes later, hesitant. Are you okay? I handed her the letter. Read it, I said. She did, slowly, eyes narrowing slightly at some parts, softening at others. When she finished, she looked up and said, You're not going to reply, are you? No, I said. There's nothing left to say. Lauren nodded, quiet for a moment, then asked the question I didn't expect. Would you want to see her? Just to end it properly. I thought about it. I think closure already happened. I just didn't realize it until now. We both smiled, a tired, knowing kind of smile, and that should have been the end of it. But it wasn't. 2 days later, I got a call from my office front desk. There's a woman here asking for you. Says it's urgent. My stomach sank. I already knew who it was. When I walked into the lobby, there she was, Emily. She looked almost the same as I remembered, but older somehow. Not in age, but in weight, like she'd been carrying something heavy for a long time. Her eyes lit up when she saw me. Will. Emily. There was an awkward silence. She stepped closer. You look good. Thanks. I didn't think you'd read it, she said. Or that you'd see me. I didn't plan to, I admitted. But since you're here, let's talk. We sat in the cafe across the street. She fidgeted with her cup, then finally blurted, I just needed to see you. To tell you in person that I'm sorry. I hurt you. I took advantage of you. And when you left, I realized I lost the only person who ever really loved me. I nodded slowly. I appreciate you saying that. I really do. But Emily, I'm happy now. I'm with someone who loves me back. Someone who doesn't make me wait. She bit her lip, eyes glistening. I know. I saw the pictures. She's lucky. I smiled faintly. We both are. Then she whispered, almost breaking, Can we at least be friends again? I sighed. I don't think we can. Not because I'm angry, but because that version of us doesn't exist anymore. Tears slid down her cheeks, but she nodded. I deserve that. We sat in silence a while longer. Then she stood, whispered goodbye, and walked out. That was the last time I saw her. First update, 2 months later. Life moved on, quietly but fully. Lauren and I got married in May, small ceremony in the mountains. Close friends, family, laughter, peace. During the reception, as we danced, she leaned in and said, You know, I'm glad she wrote that letter. I raised an eyebrow. Really? She smiled. Because now there's no ghost between us. You faced it, and you chose me. I smiled back, tightening my hold on her hand. I chose us. After the honeymoon, I got a postcard in the mail. No return address, just a photo of the city skyline we once shared, and 4 words on the back. I'm letting you go. No signature, but I didn't need one. I folded it, put it in a drawer, and closed it. For good. Final update, a year later. A year passed like a chapter turned. Lauren and I bought a house. A quiet street, big backyard, a dog that thinks he owns the place. Life felt settled, finally. One evening, as we were unpacking boxes, Lauren found an old photo. Me and Emily, arms around each other, graduation caps in hand. She smiled softly. You two looked happy. We were, I said. Before we weren't. She handed it back. Keep it. It's part of your story. I looked at the picture one last time, then tucked it back into the box, not with bitterness, but with peace. Because love doesn't always end in romance. Sometimes it ends in understanding that the person you once waited for taught you how to love, so that when the right one came along, you'd be ready. And that was the closure Emily and I never needed words for.